JD?
Yes.
Slasher? I hardly know her.
Always kills.
We're comedy characters over here.
That's the funniest joke we've ever had.
Literally the only joke we know.
Yeah, kind of.
Another top 10.
We're getting really good at top 10s. When we get enough, can we do a top 10 of our top 10s?
We will do a top 10 of our top 10s, but then we'll also do a tier list of our top 10s.
Oh, that's a big list.
Double content, everybody. But we're talking slasher movies. Perhaps the most popular horror genre movie?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. For a little bit it was.
Well, not as much anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
Now that Scream's sort of come back, it feels like it's got another day in the sun.
Yeah. Halloween kind of... We're not going to talk about it yet.
Looking at this list, you're probably going to be like, the first half you're going to be like, where are these guys going?
Yeah.
But the top 5, trust us, you know what's there.
Yeah, it's maybe the most, or the least controversial list.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We may even put to paper.
There is probably one movie on here that is quite controversial.
Well, it shouldn't be, honestly, and I will explain.
But before we get to that, let's talk some honorable mentions. Okay. JD wouldn't let me put Freddy vs. Jason or Jason X on here.
They don't need to be on it. We already have.
We have
the other movies.
We have the series.
Spoiler alert: we have the originals.
But I feel like it's worth mentioning how just corny and ridiculous both of these movies are. And when me and JD were looking at my Letterboxd, we noticed a trend. First of all, I don't really like a lot of slashes, it turns out. But anything that was corny or ridiculous, Bride of Chucky as well, I like a lot.
I don't know how you even made a list. They were all just like 2.5 stars, which really in Letterboxd is like fine.
Yeah.
Just out of 5.
Exactly. I want my slashers to be iconic. I don't want them to be middle of the road. And most of them are middle of the road.
That's true. I get you there.
Other honorable mentions are Tucker and Dale versus Evil, another corny one.
Yes.
Prom Night, which can be considered corny a little bit.
That's really good. The original. We're not talking about the.
No.
We're not talking about the new one. Or
no.
Oh god, that was like.
That's a couple
almost 20 years ago.
Black Christmas, not the remake.
No, also not the remake. Not either remake, really.
And then Cry Wolf.
It's not a good movie, but it's fun. It's a fun premise. It's like Mafia. It is very mid 2000s of like, hey, we're doing texting, we're doing like instant messaging. Bon Jovi's in here.
Number 10, going with Hush.
Mike Flanagan's like kind of not his first thing. Mike Flanagan kind of really the main horror guy right now after like Jordan Peele too. And so he makes this not a slasher so much as like a stalker movie where you have this woman and she is deaf. She is home alone and someone is just lurking around her house in a creepy mess. John Gallagher Jr. actually. And it's just really good. It's like very atmospheric. It's very low budget. It's very small. And like there's like 4 people in the cast.
Yeah.
Just really, really solid. I want to say it was on Netflix. It may still be there. I think it also kind of started that relationship that Flanagan has, which also Flanagan a few days ago talked about that he wants to make a Nightmare movie.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Well, hopefully it'll be better than the remake one.
Hopefully.
Number 9 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not any of the sequels, not the Dennis Hopper one, not the Jessica Biel one, not the awful one that came out last year.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I've forgiven you for like making me watch it.
It didn't really set the standard for slasher movies, but it set the standard for just like off the wall type of slasher movies. Whereas just like you don't like, there's a turn in the original Texas Chainsaw if you haven't seen it, but I'm not gonna spoil it, but you're just like, huh? Excuse me?
Yeah, this is kind of super, like you said, it's like it's weird, and it's like, it gave like a character a different layer of like, this isn't just a guy with a knife, this is a dude who has a chainsaw, wears people's skin.
But also has a tragic backstory.
Absolutely, yeah, well, of course.
So,
and he's doing it for family. He's the Vin Diesel of horror movies.
In many ways, this is the Fast and Furious of the horror franchise.
Man, they should really take that idea and run with it.
Speaking of running, number 8, you're next.
You're Next. Have you seen You're Next?
I have not.
Man, I love slasher movies. I love horror films. You're Next is a very, I remember at the time, very low budget, just grows so much money.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Adam Wingard is a part of this. He goes on to do Godzilla and the bad Blair Witch movie and a couple other bad movies. Still solid filmmaker,
Mm-hmm.
but this is, hey, this family, they're gathered for, I think, a holiday or something, and these 3 killers show up with these animal masks, and they're just kind of trying to take them out one by one. There's like several twists near the end that really kind of follows. One of the family members has brought his girlfriend, who she may have some secrets of her own.
Yeah.
Not to give it away, but it's just a lot of fun. It's really neat. Like, there's really great needle drops in it.
Number 7, I'm sorry, it's Urban Legend.
Listen, I shouldn't have to, 1, apologize, and 2, defend Urban Legend, 2000's Urban Legend.
Well, you're gonna have to, because it's just a Scream copycat.
I have been trying to talk about Urban Legend on this channel for years.
And I've been silencing you.
And you have silenced me. This movie is just so dumb and fun. It's got an incredible cast. It's got a fun, it took the idea of Scream and like Halloween and said, okay, but like we can't just be Scream at Halloween. We need some kind of hook. And hooks. What if we killed people with urban legends? Like, it's just so much fun. The first kill, you got Brad Dourif in the gas station, and someone's in the back of your car, and then oh man, and like I said, the cast, your boy Freddy Krueger shows up. He's in the movie.
Robert Englund, yeah.
It's just, I love just turning this movie on and just kind of around September, October, and just letting it play. And it takes place at a college, which
Exactly.
I love. That it's just they took every good thing about horror films, and while it's not the best movie, it has Jared Leto. We're not going to talk about it. It just took those things. I'm like, yes, college, yes, interesting point, yes, cool cast. And it just does it for me. I love it.
I prefer I Know What You Did Last Summer over Urban
I
Legend.
Know What You Did Last Summer, but also it's a book, and I feel like, doesn't count.
Do you still know what they did last summer?
I'll always know.
All right, number 6, I put the Candyman.
Yeah, you can finally talk. Thank you for contributing to this list.
What are you talking about? I put Texas Chainsaw
You did,
Massacre.
yeah.
But I put the Candyman, and on my list I put both of them. But this, I think they're companion pieces, So you
100%.
can't talk about the Nia DaCosta one with the old one. Just the legend of it itself. And then the new one just builds upon that, makes it a little more creepier. Talking about gentrification and all that stuff, and just tying it into that is really, really cool. I love it.
Yeah, I like that this sequel thing, whatever you want to call it, it's it builds on that mythology. It kind of even says well, was that Candyman even the real Candy? So it is interesting. I need to go back and rewatch both of them. So.
Yeah. Coleman Domingo in the new one. He's just got a beautiful voice.
He's got a great voice.
We have Jason Voorhees himself, Friday the 13th series.
Well, that's a little timeout. You can't just give it all to Jason.
Well, his mom shows up in the first one.
His mom.
Kevin Bacon is in the first one.
I don't know why you're so adamant. I get it.
He's in the first one
too.
The
the legacy of Jason, but man, that first one, what a throw. But yes, the ones that everyone knows.
Perhaps the worst of the slasher series.
Yeah.
Because just all of them.
100%.
All of them are terrible, but they're all still so watchable. Like the one where he goes to Manhattan.
You mean the one where he's on a boat that's traveling to Manhattan?
And they just
and then the end is in Manhattan?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
He does a karate fight with a dude on a building.
That's
top
right.
Of a building.
I will say, these movies came out so fast too.
Oh, so
it is
fast.
almost just a feat to be like, yeah, good for you guys. You made 10 movies in 8 years, I guess.
Then, yeah. So then you have obviously Jason X, which is finally gotten its love after so many years. But also you got Jason Goes to Hell, which is perhaps one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's not fun.
Yeah, and it's not in hell.
Not great.
They keep giving them these names, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be in hell for all.
And then it's like the stinger at the end of the movie, and it's Freddy's claw coming out of the ground. Gosh. And that's it. But Jason is iconic. I mean, he transcends the movie. You see when we were kids going to Halloween, his hockey mask was everywhere.
Which is nuts because I don't even think it's till the third one that he's really got the hockey mask. And by then they're not good. Like it really is like, I guess that everyone loves the Tommy Jarvis stuff. Like this, I think, kind of sets the way weirdly for Halloween sequels, even though Halloween came first. Like this one just got him out so fast that it was like Halloween eventually had to kind of like, I guess we'll go supernatural too. I guess we'll have a cult.
Well, one of these movies on the list kind of ruined the slasher movies because they all went supernatural after this one movie. We're gonna go back to original, the OG slasher, Psycho.
Like Jaws, just like ruined something for people, and it's like it is just it's a beautiful movie, all black and white. It's Hitchcock just like doing weird stuff with the camera, which I love. Like it's so unsettling, the scene where it's looking down at the staircase and Mrs. Bates like walks in and stabs him, and I'm like, just such a unique movie. And weirdly now, I know this seems like weird to say, like I feel like people don't talk about it like we used to talk about it, like
I think it just needs. It's not really on streaming that much. Yeah. I think that's the problem is once it gets on streaming, someone will do
TikTok.
Someone will do a TikTok of it and it'll happen. My connection with Psycho is really weird because when I worked in a movie theater, all the old ladies would be like, "You look like a young Anthony Perkins."
You do.
And I would go, I don't know if I consider that a compliment because he famously played a serial killer.
And ruins his career. It's just like, what? Yeah, it's just, it is just really... I mean, I could talk about this movie all the time. I wish, is it really not on streaming? That's crazy.
I'm sure it is somewhere, but it's kind of hard to find.
Hey kids, get the TikToks going. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. This also kind of that like movie that starts that idea of like, well, this is kind of inspired by like a real person. Ed Gein was like everyone's inspiration, but it's just like, hey, this could happen.
It could.
And I think after that, like everyone did it, and it just.
And then you've seen countless movies where like someone's spying through a hotel. A wall.
Yeah.
We have the whole reason we did this list. It's kind of funny. It's not number one, but it's fine. Scream.
Scream. Yes. I mean.
Stab. Actually. Sorry.
Scary movie originally.
Scary movie.
I will defend this franchise until it is just like defensible. Was that a word?
Indefensible.
Indefensible. Thank you. Until it is no longer able to stand on its own.
Which for a time it didn't.
I don't know. I feel like each one you just think about it and it's like, I think they all work. There's never like one where you're like, ugh, that one was rough. Especially like Scream 3, I know people don't like, but when you understand that like it's Wes Craven just kind of like giving the finger to like a Weinstein, you're like, yeah, that's fun. And that 4 is very much rooted in that like reboot culture we were in, and it was him kind of being like, you're not gonna do that to Scream. And then the new ones, we've not seen the newest one yet, but the new one for, it's not like the best revival there's ever been, but for a movie that is so much about making fun of something or like having to do the thing while also being like, this is pretty dumb, isn't it? Yeah. It does a pretty solid job. And they're fun. I love a whodunit.
It is funny that Wes Craven tried to kill it the same way the Wachowskis killed The Matrix, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Just like every slasher movie, they're gonna come back. My favorite slasher series, Nightmare on Elm Street. Another one where the quality just dips, but
kind of like comes back.
Yeah, it does come back. I mean, you got Dream Warriors, the third one, which is perhaps the best of the
that is a good one.
Wes Craven realized from the jump that Freddy was the reason this movie was being made. And then you get the Dream Child and all this other stuff. And then you get, the only bad one is the one with Breckin Meyer, where they do like the video game.
Freddy's Dead?
Yeah, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Yeah.
And he plays with the power glove and everything.
Oh, that's right. Man, is Freddy the Max Headroom of
He is.
Of horror, yeah.
If you really think about it. But it's, it's so inventive because it's all within the mind.
Yeah.
And, albeit the remake sucks, but the dream sequences in that are really good.
And I like the cast in that
yes.
too. Yeah.
Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara, yeah.
And then Freddy vs. Jason, I think, is perhaps the best dream sequences because he turns into like a worm. Some dude gets high and he turns into like a worm and he rips a bong.
Man.
But it's just so fun to watch him kill these dumb teenagers.
Yeah.
And that's what you love about most slashers because it's like, it's not something that actually happens in real life.
No, but that's what's fun about slashers is that.
Well,
like,
I know that's what's fun about Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like because you can root for Freddy because it's not a real thing.
Yeah.
No one's gonna.
You don't feel bad. Yeah.
No one's gonna invade your mind.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's go to number 1. Got to wrap this up.
We're gonna forget about the 3 that came out recently, but Halloween.
Really exclusively, I'm really thinking we narrow this down to Halloween. Halloween 2.
Yes.
Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, but even though it doesn't have Michael Myers, it's not really a slasher movie. And then H2O. And those are the 4. How are we not gonna put like the king of them all? I mean, it's just the original is so good. I don't think it may be a perfect movie.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is the queen of slasher movies. She went on to do so many slasher movies in the 70s.
Yeah. And really, like, I implore everyone, if you love horror films, go like just find the backstory of how this is made, and it is wild, and it makes you appreciate it even more. That like this movie should not have been a hit probably, and then it just like spawned like a whole genre of movies. What we know it today. So
yeah, and John Carpenter, he's the dude.
He is the dude.
And now he just plays video games and scores movies.
Man, good on you, John.
That's my life. That's what I could do.
Fingers crossed.